right, dude. Listen, this is insane. This is probably the greatest Annie ever in the context of how they've how the community is going to war. I hope you know I've covered this game again, both Annies. This has never happened. This is like unprecedented for the Nikke community to love two characters equally in an aspect. And today that aspect has changed because the new stats are now out because of reset and everything. And bro, they're getting demolished. Okay, so I need to show it to you. New to the channel, like and subscribe and house out a ton. This is gonna be a long video because I'm gonna probably talk about Crust and everything because I didn't cover that yet. So I'll cover Crust in here, and we'll talk about the poll because dude, it's going crazy. New to the channel, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Here we go. So first up, let's begin very quickly. We'll do a little more of a speed run through these skills, just do it a quick bit quicker, and give you a little bit more of a TLDR, alright? This is Crust. She's your newest character coming to Goddess of Victory Nikke. She's going to be here for 2 weeks up until the anniversary. Obviously, this is always what happens. Every year, this character ends up getting overshined because, you know, there's a giant anniversary right after, and this is when, you know, Nikke starts announcing things. So the Annie unit always is forgotten. Or sorry, the pre-Annie unit, this unit being it, like the last year or 2 years ago, I don't know what last year was Bae, right? They always get overshined because that's what just happens with, you know, the units before the Annie. But pretty much, this is the character over here. Burst animation is super cool if you like, again. What is it? Crust? It looks nice. She's happy. She's cooking. She's content with what she likes to do in life. Very cool looking one over here. Is it flying on a drone, right? It's flying on a drone over here. Got a pizza down here. Got some cooking. She's absolutely having a good time cooking up some food. We'd like to see it, but this is again the character. She has like a little lunchbox, a little bento, I guess you can say, and then some thermos over there with her food. Right once she's done annihilating some enemies, she'll go and enjoy her meal right after. But over here we have 2 pages worth of skills. It's just a big passive. Activates, so it's first burst skill 2, correct, we got that right. Supporter got that right, rocket launcher got that right, water got that right. Ammo capacity 6, 2, reload time, affects targets, deals 61.3% attack as damage, charge time is 1 second, full charge damage is 250% of damage, and then deals 200% damage when attacking core. Over here, grill and boil, skill 1, activates when attacking with full charge, self is in Mallard status. It affects all allies. Duration goes up by 2.5 seconds. Activates when attacking with full charge. And self is in blanching status. Affects all allies. Blanching goes up by 2.5 seconds. Activates when landing 3 normal attacks without full charge. Affects all allies. That will get you into the Maillard status, right? Attack plus or attack up by 10% of Cash's attack. And it removes blanching. Now landing 3 full charge attacks for more than 1 second, affects all allies. That's blanching, attack up by 10% of Cash's attack for 10 seconds, removes Maillard. Then we have activates after landing 3 normal attacks without full charge, affects all allies not in reliable cooking status. Reliable cooking, defense goes up by 10%. So these are the same values we had originally, actually. I thought they would buff anything. They didn't buff anything. Dispels 1 debuff, activates after landing 3 full charge attacks for more than 1 second. Affects all allies not in reliable cooking status. Reliable cooking defense goes up by 10% of your Cash's defense for 10 seconds. Dispels 1 debuff. So it's just the same thing, though. The entire kit is like full charge or normal. You get full charge, you get something else. You get normal, you get something else. It's literally it. Activates when entering full burst. Affects all targets in Mallard or blanching status. That's just 20% of Cash's attack for 10 seconds. So yeah. Okay. Keep it going over here. Burst skill, 20-second cooldown, obviously. Affects all allies. Attack damage goes up by 20% for 10 seconds. Affects all allies when in Mallard status. It gives distributed damage. And then sustained damage, 10% for 10 seconds. You get cleanse. Isn't this just clay in a way? This is just a better clay. If you use clay, you'll use this instead because it's a better clay. Right? That's literally what this is. And the sustained, so distributed damage, you get 60%, and sustained, you get 10%. Right? I'll be honest, dog, the kit looks like a skip. If you want it because Crust is like your favorite character, Be my guest. And if you want it because you think that, in solo raid it's going to be needed, every character ends up being needed at some point in solo raid. You can do that. If you care about being like, I got to be top 100 in solo raid, otherwise I can't sleep at night. If you say that to yourself in the mirror while looking at yourself, then buy the unit and go for the unit. I'm not going to stop you. But I would say for the most part, this doesn't really look too crazy. Obviously, it's designed to give distributed damage and sustained damage, obviously, to Brady. But there's no point, right? There's no real need for this character, in my opinion, given how it's designed. But if you use clay, this is literally clay power creep. That's what this is. For, like, simple word, leveling, naming. That's what she is. I don't think she's anything crazy, but I think it's a skip. I really do, especially with what's next. I think there were much better banners before this to sink your summons into, to build pity. I still say that Evangelion was, like, where you should have sunk in to build pity, or I don't know about recently. I would have said, like, before, like the duo as well, Maid Mast and Anchor. That was also good to sink your summons into. This, I don't know. So that's my TLDR. Kit's not crazy, but it's definitely solo raid worthy, where if you want to get top 100 or whatever and you're, like, really competing, you probably will need it. But again, I think that you just focus on the next thing. Simple. That's it. So holy hell, a lot of water units. If they do this because these are all water units, Siren's not, I'm going to, like, rage, bro. But here, let's keep going. That's not part of the video. All right, so before I click the poll event, I want you to guess down below in your head, in comments, whatever you want to do. Just think. Just think. Screw the comments. Think in your head, who is in first place right now? And if you said Robbie Red Hood, you were I'm just kidding around. You're wrong. You're correct. No, you're not. You're wrong. Dude, Sydney took it. Oh, I told you. Once the JP community gets on to things, they're like, all right, listen. We're gonna make sure Sydney is the winner. That's what they say, man. So make it clear, Cinderella is not in second place anymore. She has taken her place. She is beaten Robbie Red Hood. This will be an insane competition, because remember, it's still anybody's game. It's not that, it's so far apart. Yes, it's widened the gap since earlier today. It definitely has. Now it's about like 5-ish off, right? Compared to today's like 300-ish, right? That was 5K it is, right? That's a pretty hefty difference compared to what it is, okay? So, big changes. I'm wondering, though, that means that, remember, nothing changes here. You can't get complacent if you like Cinderella. You also gotta band together with Robbie Red Hood. What happens is, this is an entire mental game. Second place always will do better than first place, because they know they have a fighting chance. They're gonna make sure their vote counts. With the Cinderella gang, they're gonna be like, oh, complacent. Let's not vote because we're already first. It's all a mind game, boys. It's all a mind game. So, very curious on how this goes. But, dude, we have never in Nikke history had a neck-and-neck like this. I mean, Cinderella is so good to compete with Robbie Red Hood in waifu status. That is insane, okay? Like, the main character, Robbie, losing to Cinderella. That is unprecedented. Unprecedented amounts of holy hell. Really. But I'll be clear is on top of this real quick. I hope that if it comes down to the point where it's so close, I truly hope that Shift Up takes the initiative to say, you know what? We'll do 2 skins. I know they'll never say that in a million years, but listen, you've 3 years of having the game in service. It's never happened, and it might not ever happen again. So while it's here like this, it would be the coolest thing in history if they allow that to happen. I'm telling you, this will probably not happen for a very long time. I don't think that Siren is anything close to what Cinderella and Robbie Red Hood is. I also don't think that Anise and Neon will be voted the same way as Robbie and Cinderella. Leviathan as well. I think that this is the closest it's been, where Cinderella and Robbie Red Hood were so hyped they could bring the game that much and bring players that happy. So I hope that Shift Up says, you know what? Because it was so close, let's do 2 of them. But I doubt that, given how they've been here and there with some of the extra things, right? They weren't able to do extra things on top of things, but we'll see. You'll see. So that's there. We'll see what happens, dude. But yeah, if you're looking at the top ranking, Cinderella on top, winning by a bit. Over here, Crown, definitely you can see the gap between that. Everyone's focusing their votes, to Cinderella or Red Hood. Crown over there at 131. Doro at 110, which is there. Scarlet at 95. Scarlet Black Shadow at 70. So it's clear that you can't really beat Pilgrims, which is also super annoying. They're just on top, and you won't ever get like like screens or frames for other characters. I really would love to see them do like, hey, top 5 gets it, but we'll just do like top 3 of other manufacturers to get some more out there, or at least top 1 of other manufacturers. It just makes it more fun. Like, oh, Helm can get one, maybe Alice, maybe now Blanc, D Kilowife, depends on how it's rated right at the end. Do do it that way, but who knows? But yeah, so big difference between 95 and 70. So top 5 is kind of solidified now. It's almost impossible for Scarlet Black Shadow to make it. So we'll just go with that. Helm definitely won't make it as well. Alice, Anise, you have Blanc, Declo Wife. Brittany doing pretty good. She's like the only like newer character super up here compared to like some of the base ones, right? Grave, still newer, but Pilgrim, not gonna count that. And then Mast over here with 24. So just Brittany was a different league, bro. That's 15 more almost, or 14 more almost, right? Naga, Anchor. So Anchor did great as well. Damn. 8 over here, Snow White, Marciana, Alice Bunny. Yeah, not a bad vote. Where did Isabel end up going? Look at that, dude. Isabel made a jump, unironically. She passed a lot of characters. What the hell? Yo, my 5 votes mattered. My 5 votes. Dude, she was like down here. Somehow she made it all the way up here. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, she made a decent jump. Holy. Maybe my 5 votes matter again, but altogether, best of luck. Make sure you vote properly, and we'll see what happens here. But right now, Crust kit explained. I really think it's a skip. I truly think that you guys should think with the right head here, even though don't even think with the right head in any context. This one, I don't even know what to say here. Please, just save your summons and be ready for Annie. I still think that bait can occur. Okay, so yeah, peace up. Catch you guys later.